just over 7 years ago, a team of us from HTB were invited by the Bishop of Lincoln to come and plant and revitalise St Swithun's. We had a vision that people would encounter the love of God, learn to live more like Jesus, and then go in the power of the Spirit to see lives and communities transformed.
As soon as we planted here, we launched our first Alpha course right here in the Angel Coffee House.
In 2015, we launched our community outreach program. This was a place where people who needed it could have access to clothing and to food.
In 2016, we were praying as a staff team for more space for our rising gens to meet. I had this gut feeling that the old LaserQuest building across the road was where we were meant to be, but it wasn't for sale, so we began praying for it. We would walk around 7 times as we prayed.
Our fireworks service in 2016 was the biggest service we'd ever had. There was a real sense of community within the church in the city of Lincoln.
So just over a year later, Christmas 2017, due to an unforeseen incident with parts of the plaster falling in off the roof, unfortunately we had to shut the doors to the church. We had to move out of the building, but we quickly became church on tour. 7 buildings, 18 months, but one church and one vision. During this time, obviously, we began praying ourselves, praying along with the diocese as to what would help us fulfill that original vision of being a resource church here in Lincoln. During this time, we began praying for 3 specific things. Firstly, for favour with the people in the city and the organisations that would be making the decisions about whether we could indeed purchase the Salt House. Secondly, for good conversations with the diocese as we continued to partner together on this project. And thirdly, to see a release of £1 million that would be necessary to buy and renovate the Salt House. As we began praying this time around, the Salt House was already planned and under offer, ready to be student housing. But fortunately for us, at least, that deal fell through. And on the 12th of August 2019, we finally got the keys.
Jim asked us to pray for a really important decision-making meeting that was coming up. I saw a picture of a group of people around a table, and they were all wearing the same pair of glasses. It was like God was saying, it's okay, they're all going to see the same thing, my vision and my plans for the Salt House. And sure enough, they did.
Welcome to the Salt House. So it might not look like much now, but this whole area, the ground floor of the Salt House, is where we're going to be in phase 1. What we'd love to do is open up floor 2 for phase 2, where we'll be able to do everything that we want to do, and particularly get the main worship area open. It's going to be a bit of a stretch. We're not quite sure the time scale, but come upstairs, have a look. There's enough space for 400 people here, we're told. You might have to be quite small, but we're told there's enough for 400 people.
So in phase 2, this room here will be a main auditorium space with a kitchen area set off to the side and rooms for youth set over here at the back of the building.
And these windows at the front are going to be open right up with light flooding in, so we'll be able to crack on, get going, make home, but more importantly, begin to really reach out and offer hospitality to the community around us. But our journey to the Salt House still wasn't quite over. As we were preparing to open the doors and launch on Easter Sunday 2020, COVID hit. Good morning, I'm Jim.
Hi, I'm Vicky.
And this is obviously a bit different than we anticipated, but welcome to our 10:30 gathering here at St Swithun's. We went into lockdown and church went online. We never doubted God's presence, and we grew in confidence that this new way of doing church was going to shift our perspective and reach more people. Church online was a challenge none of us anticipated facing, but our church community did not stay silent.
In the spring of 2020, as a response to the pandemic, Love Your Neighbour was launched across the UK to help people in urgent need through crisis support, debt advice, employment training and community care. St Swithun's became a Love Your Neighbour hub, and through our food depot, we've since delivered thousands of food parcels to the most vulnerable in Lincoln, in addition to running multiple editions of the Rework programme and Cap Money course, and we have joined a network of local churches running the Nightlight Mental Health Crisis Cafe.
We had a cracking 6th birthday present. As we were coming out of the first lockdown of the pandemic, we were able to open up the Salt House doors to our church community and the people in our city for the first time. 2021 was one of our best years yet. We welcomed our Associate Vicar Ben, we partnered with St Faith's Church down in the West End, and we were able to send Matt and Nay and a team to Grimsby to plant into St Mark's Church.
Partnering with St Faith's has meant we can build strong community connections with schools, families and young people in the West End of Lincoln.
The journey so far over the last 7 years has been incredible. There's been ups, there's been downs, there's been challenges, there's been amazing things happen. And what's been brilliant about it is it's not just about one or two people, but it's been about the whole family of God, the whole church family coming together, praying, getting stuck in, and just coming on this journey together to see lives and communities transformed, believing that the love of God can make a massive impact.